I love the word metaphor, and there is a great ancient metaphor which probably is one of the 7 original myths, and it is of the ferryman. And when you get onto his ferry on one bank of the river and cross the river with him under his guidance, basically your life in his hands if it's a dangerous river, and then you disembark on the other side, and somehow your molecules have been rearranged. You've learned something, or perhaps more importantly, there's been a shift. You can't name exactly what it is, you don't know how or why, but the ferryman, and we all know this from mythology, the famous ferryman who will take you from A to B. Sometimes it's to death.
River Styx.
Yeah, sometimes it's to death. Other times it's to enlightenment. So I think that Darvan is the ferryman to Wendy, and she, in a sense, is the passenger. But they both learn from one another in the film. So it's a lot more about driving, but that's the wonderful trigger. She needed to learn to drive, and by a series of accidents we're thrown together, and I'm her teacher. Darvan was a university lecturer in the Punjab, as was his father. He talks about this on his walk across the by the sea with her, that he was a lecturer, a university lecturer, as was his father, professor, as was his father. So that he is by nature a teacher, and I think if you are intrinsically a teacher, it's very hard to put the brakes on that impulse. So that although one might think, oh my God, from a university, I think a professor of English literature, actually, that's what I worked out, to a driving instructor, what a terrible loss. But he does not turn it into a loss, because whomever is in his car next to him, even the young boy at the beginning of the film, I steady him down and I teach him something, and then I let him go. But I don't think Darwan can let anyone go until he's taught them something.